All right, I'm the flat rate master, and today we're talking about the differences between managing flat rate technicians and hourly technicians. So today we're going to talk about the differences in managing flat rate versus hourly salary technicians. Basically technicians that no matter what they do, they make the same amount of money. We're not going to talk about managing, hourly with commission or any of that stuff. Just too complicated for one video. And before you guys in the comments start writing, flat rate sucks, flat rate needs to die, stop. This isn't what this is about. This isn't about your preferred pay plan. This is about managing people on those pay plans. You don't like flat rate? Don't work on flat rate. Okay? So with that said, let's move on. Touch on a hot button issue. Quality control. I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, flat rate encourages hacks and all that. From a management standpoint, pay plan means zero for quality control. You want to know why? Because if you're up front or in my position as shop foreman, you see trends. You know technician A has a lot of comebacks. Technician A forgets to do a lot of stuff, whereas technician B doesn't. So as far as quality control, there's no difference. It really comes down to the individual technician, the guy that's going to take the time to do the job right, to make sure, he puts a battery in it, the radio's set, to, make sure the brakes are bedded in, make sure, the noise he said would fix it with struts is fixed, not the technician that's going to go, yeah, it needs this and slap it on and, park it outside. From a management point of view, you're going to see that. It doesn't matter. You're going to figure it out pretty quickly who's got quality control issues and who doesn't. So, from that standpoint, pay plan doesn't matter. You can say whatever you want about hacks and flat rate, but it doesn't matter. Now we're going to talk about overselling versus underselling work. Now this one, I'm going to give, people in the audience that think that flat rate can encourage overselling. I'm not going to disagree. Now a lot of stuff can be very opinion based. Oil leak, 10 out of 10 versus oil leak, 1 out of 10. Opinion based. It's based on the technician's opinion of that problem. Whereas, like brakes are pretty cut and dry. 3 millimeters, it needs brakes. Oil leaks can be a little more flexible, and, other things are less testable, can be very much up to subjective opinion. An oil leak or some other repair, flat rate technicians probably going to err on it being bad enough to do, whereas an hourly technician will probably vary to the side of it's not bad enough to warrant addressing. So I'm going to give you that one. Yes, that can be an issue. On the other side of it, it is a subjective opinion of a issue. Now obviously if the oil leak's bad enough that it's dripping on the exhaust causing the car to smoke, we know it needs to be fixed. Now underselling. Now this one, the hourly guys are going to be the ones that are guilty of. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer here. We're talking generalizations in this video. We're generalizing because we have to. It's a video. I can't go into every circumstances and, your mileage may vary. Underselling. A guy that has no incentive to sell that job that he doesn't want to do probably isn't going to sell it. That job's not bad enough to sell. I'm not going to write it up. I'm going to get on my phone and, play. It's the truth. A technician that has no incentive to write up a job he doesn't want to do isn't going to do it. A good technician obviously would write it up, but we're talking generalizations. He has no incentive to do it. He doesn't want to do it. Flat rate technician doesn't want to do it, but it means hours. On the hourly side of it, probably not going to write up, the stuff they don't want to do. All right, workflow. We're going to talk flat rate first. Is going to want to move cars in and out as quickly as possible. He wants to get on to the next car, bill more hours, bill more hours, bill more hours. From a management standpoint, that's really good. You know, we want to get cars in and out as quickly as possible, get that money billed, make money for the shop. Salary hourly technician that is not concerned about working as quickly and as efficiently as he should, that can slow down workflow. You know, all of a sudden that, you know, gravy 4-hour time belt job is 6 hours because he, you know, decided to take his time because he didn't want that next ticket because he saw what it was. He said, nope, I'm taking my time. Can really complicate workflow through the shop. You know, I talked about it a little bit on young technicians coming in late. It can really complicate workflow. You know, when you've got technicians that aren't pulling their weight as far as billable hours, again, not talking, you know, flat rate, I'm talking hourly technicians that, you know, a 4-hour job is taking 6 hours because they decided to take their time. All of a sudden, you got a car that hasn't been looked at because you expected them to get to that ticket, and it complicates workflow considerably. So now we all have jobs that go complicated and, you know, take longer than they're supposed to. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, you know, the guys that aren't moving as quickly as they should on a routine job can complicate workflow. All right, in that vein, efficiency. How efficient is a technician? And remember, we're talking generalizations. So don't get mad at me because I'm saying stuff about hourly salary technicians not living up to efficiency. A flat rate technician, their goal in life is to beat the time. You know, period. We got to make money by being efficient. I stress this on my channel. Efficiency is what makes flat rate work. You being efficiency in your workflow. Aren't good at flat rate, well, they're not going to be efficient. They're not going to be efficient on hourly either. For a shop standpoint, you're billing a customer 4 hours and it's taken 6 hours. That's 2 hours you didn't bill. Add that up over the course of a week, that's a lot of lost revenue that the shop didn't make. A manager standpoint, he's not making bonus because of that. An owner's standpoint is he can't buy new equipment or a new boat. I mean, you know, let's be honest. It's a fact of life. An hourly technician probably is not going to work as efficiently as a flat rate technician. So efficiency in an hourly shop probably is not going to be as high as a flat rate shop. Now, there's plenty of hourly technicians that, you know, can knock it out, can bill 60, 70 hours in a week, and they just don't want to have the pressure of flat rate. They're happy with a steady paycheck, which is fine. You know, I'm not bad-mouthing people that work that way. Some people just cannot mentally wrap their head around working flat rate. It just messes with their mind. Put them in an hourly situation, they're efficient, they're productive, they just get the job done. So, managing tickets. How much does that pay? Flat rate technician, when you're handing out work, well, obviously we're not going to want that, you know, horrible job that nobody in the shop wants because it doesn't pay well and it's a pain in the butt to do. But we're flat rate, so if that's all there is, we're going to take it. Nice thing about hourly is they get paid no matter what, so that is a good thing. Let's talk shop productivity. Goes right into that efficiency, billable hours thing. Hourly salary technicians generally are going to spend a little more time, well, let's be honest, not doing their job. In generalization, no hate comments, generally they're going to be on their phone, they're going to be going to the bathroom, they're going to be hanging out, they're not going to be working as efficiently as they should. And it happens with flat rate technicians too. So, but my point is that billable hours on an hourly salary technician can keep falling and falling and falling because they're not as productive as they should be. That's where management has to step in. When you have falling productivity, you got to start putting checks and balances in. You got to start managing your technicians. When you're dealing with hourly technicians that productivity's falling, you got to get in there and start managing them, making sure they're staying productive, making sure they're staying efficient. It's much more of an intensive amount of management to keep them productive. Because you can see it over and over again in an hourly shop. Production of a technician will slowly creep down. And before you know it, they're costing you money. So now flat rate on the other hand of it, yes, flat rate technicians can goof off and, do the same kind of stuff, except it hurts their pocketbook too. So they kind of are incentivized to stay off the, BS train and keep working. Damn, I'm burping like crazy. Flat rate is easier to manage on that situation simply because it's going to self-correct itself one way or another. Either they're going to go, oh, I got to do something about this. My hours suck. They're going to go find somewhere else to work because, their hours suck. Or they're just complacent and you don't have to replace them anyway. With hourly technicians, you're going to have to keep on them to make sure they stay productive. They're not wasting time. They're on your clock after all, so you got to keep calling them out on the BS. You got to go, why isn't that job done, man? So from a, management standpoint, hourly kind of sucks to some extent. It involves actually managing your workforce. So it is what it is. So I hope you liked this video. Let me know in your comments. Not flat rate sucks and all that stuff, but let me know in the comments if you agree with me, disagree with me. I got no problem having a discussion about these issues. I'm not going to do anything with the flat rate sucks comment, so don't bother. So thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.